For decades, scientists assumed the resting brain was a quiet brain, that when you stopped working on a task, your mind mostly powered down. The imaging researchers discovered just the opposite. There's an entire network that switches on when you rest. They call it the default mode network. And I think we've talked about that. And it's where the brain does some of its most important work, making sense of your life, consolidating memory, imagining the future. Doing nothing, it turns out, is doing something essential. And today is the day for it. Welcome back. Aloha. I'm Dr. Lisa, and I'm fresh back from Hawaii. This is Science Back, Soul Supported, day 14 of the long light. And the close of week 2. It's Sunday, a quiet turn. And tomorrow opens the most charged week of the whole month. Solstice week, the longest night of the year. And guess what? I'm not going to be down here in Florida. I'm going to be up in Pennsylvania. We're having I'll tell you, a 50th class reunion. I'm actually that old. I graduated high school in 1976, and we were the bicentennial class, and we were fun. Anyway, I'll be up there to actually experience how long the light is. But today we're going to start to slow down and prepare for that. We have a deep cultural suspicion of rest. We treat it as the absence of value, and that's just wrong. The empty space between the things that count. So what do? We fill it. Even our Sundays get colonized by the list. And then we wonder why we arrive at Monday already tired. The science here is genuinely surprising. For a long time, researchers assumed that when you stopped doing a task, your brain went quiet. Then, with modern brain imaging, they found something they hadn't expected: a whole network of regions that become more active when you rest, not less. They named it the default mode network because it's the mode the brain defaults to when it isn't aimed at a task. It isn't idling. The default mode network is where you process what's happening to you, consolidate memory into meaning, reflect on yourself, and imagine your future. It's the brain's integration system, and it only really comes online when you stop driving. Read that plainly, okay? It only really comes online when you stop driving, pushing yourself. The understanding you've been chasing, the perspective you can't force, the sense of what actually matters, a lot of it gets assembled by your brain precisely when you let it rest. Rest is not the absence of the work. For this kind of work, rest is the work. The slow Sunday isn't lost time. It's when the week finally gets digested. So here's the practice for a Sunday slowing, and it's the gentlest one of the week. First, question 4, the sacred pause, but stretch it out long, not a single breath. An afternoon in lower gear. Let yourself be a little aimless today. Let the default mode network do its quiet work. And then, as evening comes, one move towards tomorrow. Question 7, the best alternative. Of all the ways I could spend the longest week of light in the entire year, the most generous days the calendar will ever give me, what's the best alternative? Not the busiest, and certainly not the most productive. The best. The one I'd be glad I chose when the light starts shortening again. There's a quiet helper in the sky for this too. The new moon arrives this weekend, the dark point of the cycle, the traditional moment for setting a fresh intention before anything has grown yet. You don't have to believe anything about the moon to use the rhythm. A new moon at the threshold of the solstice week is a beautiful, simple invitation to rest tonight and plant one intention for the week of maximum light. So slow down today. Take your time. Let the doing nothing do its something. And set one gentle reminder and one gentle intention for the long, bright week ahead. Solstice week opens tomorrow. Let's meet it rested. Today, protect one genuinely unstructured hour, no task, no screen, no list, and just let your mind wander on purpose. Then, this evening, run question 7 once. Of all the ways I could spend the longest week of light this year, what's the best alternative? Set one intention, just one, and let it carry you into solstice week. The Power of Seven workshop continues this Wednesday, June 17th, then June 24th, and July 1st at 3 Eastern on Microsoft Teams. Session 1 is behind us, but there's a recording, and there's still room if you're welcome, and you're certainly welcome to join us. The link is in the description. If you're going to protect some real rest today, hit like, drop a comment. I read every single one with the intention that you're setting for the solstice week. And share this with someone who treats rest like a guilty secret. So like, subscribe, hit the bell thing, and we're closing week 2. And tomorrow, as we step into the solstice week, it's the most changed days of the entire month, of the entire year, to be honest. And I'll see you there. I'm aware because I care. Pause and breathe. I choose a better alternative. Subscribe, like, do all the things. I'll see you.